Good news in history. September 2471 years ago today, the London street scene was made all the more iconic with the introduction of the Routemaster 8 or M8 from AC, becoming the double-decker red bus so associated with the British capital. A pioneering design, the Routemaster outlasted several of its replacement types in London, survived the privatization of the former London transport bus operators, and even spread to other cities in the UK. Read a tad more about this iconic automobile. 1983 Bevel RM8 first production AC Routemaster at a bus rally in Ocean Village, Southampton. Credit Murgatroyd CC 4.0. By Same 2006, the Routemaster was voted one of Britain's top 10 design icons, which included Concorde Mini, Supermarine, Spitfire, London Tube Map, World Wide Web, and the K2 telephone box. In 2009, the Routemaster was selected by the Royal Mail for their British Design Classics commemorative postage stamp issue. This is despite the fact that its unique design was flawed in several ways. The boarding platform was extensively open, which exposed everyone on board, and especially the people nearest to it, to the rather common unpleasantness of the London elements. The presence of the staircase up to the second floor narrowed the space just inside the bus, making boarding with luggage or bikes extremely difficult. Also, if the raised floor deck higher than normal, boosters made it all but impossible for wheelchair-bound people to ride in them. As it often happens throughout history, however, particularly automotive history, some designs simply have the it factor and are popular regardless of obvious shortcomings. The Routemaster is certainly one of those. More good news. On this day, President Theodore Roosevelt proclaimed Devil's Tower to be the first U.S. national monument. 1960. Jim Henson, the Muppets puppeteer, was born. 1960. The U.S. Court of Appeals ordered the University of Mississippi to admit James Meredith, a black man. 1960. Trinidad and Tobago Republic Day. 1960. Rhodesia rulers agreed to introduce black majority rule within 2 years. 1960. Israel and the Palestine Liberation Org agreed to sign a pact to end Israeli occupation in West Bank. 1960. Years ago today, Honda Motor Company was founded with a founding principle that the purpose of technology is to help people. They have motorized 4 generations of working class and poor citizens across Asia, Europe, and North America. This is largely because Honda has been the world's largest motorcycle and scooter manufacturer since 1979, reaching a production of 400 million by the end of 2019. To put 400 million in perspective, GMM reported recently that if you went to Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Malaysia and gave every man, woman, and child their own Honda moped, you'd have several million left over at the end. Honda Super Cub 11 and Honda Civic CC 3.0. D. Bellwood is a car and engine enthusiast. Soichiro Honda founded a company under his name that made piston rings for Toyota. Eventually graduating from engineering university, he scraped by under the dual shadows of the much larger Toyota and World War II. After American bombers had destroyed his factory, Soichiro Honda sold the salvageable remains of the company to Toyota after the war. His next project was making 2-stroke motorized bicycles out of a shack with a 12-man team, called the Bata Bata after the sound it made. With money from these ramshackle bikes, he founded Honda Motor Company and sold the first professional bike, the 1949 D-Type, which after a foray into motorsport won the world championships in the 125cc and 250cc categories. 6 years later, Honda, along with his development partner Fujisawa, brought up the idea for the Honda Super Cub, a motor scooter that would go on to sell more units than all versions of the Mini Cooper, all the WMV Beetles, and all the Toyota Corollas ever sold put together. Fujisawa's requirements was that it could be ridden with one hand while carrying a tray of soba noodles, saying to Honda, if you can design a small motorcycle, say 50 cc with a cover to hide the engine and hoses and wires inside, I can sell it. I don't know how many soba noodle shops there are in Japan, but I bet you that every shop will want one for deliveries. Entering continuous manufacturing in 1978, the bike was a hit around the world. 1948 to 1929 years ago today, author F. Scott Fitzgerald was born in Minnesota. Shortly before his first book was published, This Side of Paradise, he was so broke that he took a job repairing car roofs, but the novel was an instant success. Widely regarded as one of the greatest American writers of the 20th century, Fitzgerald penned many short stories and 4 novels, including The Great Gatsby, The Beautiful and Damned, and Tendo is the Night. Watch a short bio. And on this day in 1968, 60 Minutes first premiered with the sound of a stopwatch. The unique reporter-centered investigative journalism proved eventually popular, and the show, produced by Don Hewitt, broke a record this year, being renewed for its 51st season on CBS. With reporters like Harry Reasoner, Mike Wallace, Molly Safer, Leslie Stahl, and Dan Mather, it pioneered investigative journalism techniques like re-editing, interviews, hidden cameras, and gotcha journalism with surprise visits to the homes or offices. For 34 years, Andy Rooney's quirky final minutes of humorous commentary became a show staple. And on this day 266 years ago, Arthur Guinness first introduced his Irish ale to the public. Photo by Patch Attack. CC licensed the Dark Stout that originated in a brewery at St. James Gate, Dublin, was destined to become one of the most successful beers in the world. The best-selling drink in Ireland, it is also brewed in almost 50 countries and poured in 70 others. With the tangy flavour and rich dark colour that comes from its malted barley and roasted on malted barley, Guinness is typically served in pie glasses. It's been called the black stuff or mother's milk by Irish-loving folks who adore the beer's thick, creamy head, which comes from mixing the stout with nitrogen and carbon dioxide. Some studies have even found the antioxidant